Hi class. I thought I would go through the typography project with you, the word art, the one that you use Adobe Illustrator for. Some students in class have expressed that the tutorial that's posted is a little bit hard to follow, so I thought I would walk you through this a little bit just to show you how to do it. So you can see I have Adobe Illustrator open on my desktop, and it should look like this when you open it up. If it doesn't, if you go to the Window tab across the top, you can see my tabs are here at the top, my toolbox is over here on the left, and then I have an Options panel over here. If it doesn't look like this, you can go to the Window tab and click on Workspace, and I have the Essentials open. That's what I have clicked. So just click on Essentials and it will look like this then. I'm going to go to File and start a new project, and I'm going to use the defaults, so I'm going to click OK. There is my workspace. And then I'm going to open up an image that I found online of a cupcake. That's the image that I'm going to use for my silhouette. And I do that by clicking on File and Place. Another box will open up. I've saved the image to my desktop, so I'm going to scroll down and find my cupcake and place it on my project. And then I'm going to increase the scale. I want it to be bigger. There it is. It's not a silhouette at this point. I need to make it a silhouette, so I'm going to come over here and change the white to black. And I'm going to use the pen tool to do that. It's right here in my toolbox. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. So this is one option, using the pen tool to create silhouette. Another thing that you could do is you could open up your cupcake in Photoshop and fill the cupcake with black in Photoshop, and then resave your image to the desktop and place that one into Illustrator. Place the completed silhouette from Photoshop into Illustrator. It may look a little bit smoother and a little bit better than what I'm about to do. But if you want to do it this way with the pen tool, you're welcome to use this technique as well. So I'm going to click on the pen tool. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to trace around the outer edge of my cupcake. I'm not going to take a lot of time making this really smooth. You can take more time on yours than I'm taking on mine. Oh, I'm having some problems there. So there's essentially there is my silhouette. Still having a few problems there, but ending my line. Okay. I'm going to, hopefully yours doesn't end up messy like this, but I'm going to come over here to Edit, and I'm going to rasterize. Oh, not Edit, Object. Click on the Object tab, click on Rasterize, and then I'm going to click OK. Hi class. Hopefully this works this time. I've tried it like 3 times now. I'm going to go through the typography project, or the word art with the silhouette, that project with you really quickly. Some students expressed to me that the tutorial that was posted is a little bit hard to follow, so I'm going to show you how I would complete the project. I have Adobe Illustrator open on my desktop right now. This is what it looks like. I have my tabs across the top, I have a toolbox on the left, and I have an options panel here on the right. The first thing I'm going to do is open up a new project, so I go to the File tab and click on New. I'm going to use the default settings there, so I'm going to click OK. Here's my workspace. Now I'm going to place the object that I already Googled and saved to my desktop in my project. So I'm going to go to the File tab and click on Place. I'm going to find my cupcake and place it on my project. And then I'm going to increase the scale a little bit. I want it to be a little bit bigger. There it is. Now I need it to be a silhouette, so I need to fill it in with black. And you can do it this way that I'm going to show you with the pen tool here in Adobe Illustrator, or if you want it to be a little more clean around the edges, you can import your cupcake into Photoshop or your image into Photoshop and fill it in Photoshop, and then save that image to your desktop and place that one into Adobe Illustrator. If you just want to do the whole thing in Illustrator, you're going to go to the pen tool here, click on that, and come over to your image and trace around the outer edge. Clicking down. Everywhere you click, your little outline is going to stick. Oops, and it's white. I don't want it to be white. I'll see if I can change the color of it when I'm done. You can see it's filling it in with white right now. To prevent that from happening, you're going to want to change the color in your color palette first before you start clicking, and I'll show you where that is in just a second. Okay, so there's my cupcake. This is where you would want to change the color. If you double click on this, you can change that color and click OK, and now my cupcake is black, which is great. I'm going to go to Object, and I'm going to rasterize my selection here, and I'm going to click OK. And there's my selection. I'm going to use the selection tool here, and I'm going to increase the scale of this so it covers up the cupcake underneath. And there's what I'm going to use. Okay, that's in layer 1. I'm going to click on New Layer right here. You can see where my cursor is. Create a new layer. Layer 2 is labeled with a different color. This is the layer that you want your text in. So I'm going to come over to the Type tool, click on the Type tool. All my options are up here now. And I want to go ahead and I don't want to use black, so I'm going to come over here and select white, or I can select another color from my palette here. So I'm going to pick white for this, and I'm going to go ahead and type a word. It's too small, so I'm going to come up here and pick a different font size. Here we go, that's better. I'm going to pick a different font too. Maybe, there we go. I like this one. That'll work. So I'm going to type a word in now. Okay, there's my word. I'm going to click on the Object tab and click on Envelope Distort, and you want to make it with mesh. So I'm going to click on that. There's only one row of letters there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns because there's 7 letters. So I'm going to type in 7 on columns and click OK. I'm using the other selection tool now. I clicked on the other selection tool now, and I'm selecting each of these little anchor points to manipulate my letters now, a point at a time. So now I can move my letters around to kind of mirror the shape of my object here. Do you see how I'm selecting a point and moving it? It's kind of getting a little messy there. There we go. So there's my first word, cupcake. That looks pretty good. I like it. you'll notice I can't see my layers anymore over here. If that disappears, I can always go to the Window tab and click on Layers, and it'll appear again, and I can make sure that I am back in layer 2 to type in more of my words. So then I'll go to the Type tool again, clicking on that, and I'm going to come over here and click in my cupcake again to type another word. I can use a different font if I want to, different font size. Make sure that I'm using white. Ooh, I don't know if that'll work there. Oh, it did. There's white up there. So now I'm going to type another word. There's my next word. And I'm selecting it, and I'm going to click on Object, Envelope Distort, Make with Mesh. There's one row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. So there's 5 columns, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click on my Direct Selection tool and click on each point to manipulate each point separately. See how I did that? There's my second word. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of how to do this particular project. If you have questions, you can still always email me. All right, thanks.